It's nothing, that's a saving. In a house on fire, could you stay a while? Barely breathing.
Thank you for downloading this episode of Three Different Dads. I am Lorenzo. Tyler is here. Jim has a HOA meeting, which I'm sure we'll hear all about next episode. So to fill in is guest dad Adam. Adam, thanks for jumping in here.
Thanks for having me.
We had a little bit of internet issues, but just a few seconds ago, Adam's like, "Hey, let me log off and log back in," and that seemed to do the trick, man.
Works every time.
I had a multi-million-dollar building that I take care of, and the air condition wasn't working. So I just went to the couple breakers for the air handlers, turned them off, turned them back on. The air condition started working.
Fixed. You should get a job in HVAC, dude. You'll make a lot of money.
Dude, it's so crazy how just, I mean, it's stuff built to be like, hey, if it's not working when they turn you off and turn you back on, you should be working. Like, is that just how things are built?
I think it is now. It's like the fail safe.
Yeah,
it's like the old version of just blowing the cartridge. Yeah, that's it. Turn it off, turn it back on.
Well, the worst is when you hire a contractor to come out to your house or to your work or whatever, and they're like, I don't know what happened. I just turned it off and turned it back on. It seemed to be working. I'm like, all right, so now I got to pay you for that.
It's going to be $80 for the service charge.
$75 service fee plus my hourly. So,
yeah, that's awful. That's terrible. Adam, how you been doing, man? I do want to publicly announce on this podcast that doesn't get a lot of viewers that Adam was in Ohio, a mere minutes away, and I had no idea, and he never told me. So that's cool.
Yeah.
No. I heard from his mom. I saw his mom at my work randomly, and we talked about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll call Adam. And I was like, I don't think I said hello. I was like, you're a piece of shit.
Yes, which I wasn't even in Ohio when you called me. So.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you're right. But I've told you, and I've told friend of the show George, like when you guys come in town, like I understand there's a lot of people to see, and if I don't get seen, that's fine. You know, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not worried about it. I just like giving you shit for it.
Oh, obviously, yeah. But this trip was crazy. So
yeah,
it was good, but crazy.
Yeah. It sounded like you came here and then you flew out again. Like what exactly? What did your trip consist of here?
So we drove 19 hours with 4 kids.
Yeah,
Ohio.
There's nothing more dad than driving your kids across country.
Correct. And we were like, we left at like 2:45 in the morning our time. We're like, we'll just kind of wing it, and if we can make it, we'll make it. So we made it in at like 11 o'clock at night, and then how
were the kids? Like, I don't want to like go past this drive because like I said, this is such a dad thing, and it's perfect for this podcast. Yeah. So growing up, my dad would always like shove us all in a van and to take us to Texas. And, you know, as we got older, obviously it's easier, but you have young kids. I think what's the oldest, like what, 9?
8.
8? Yeah.
So it was 1, 3, 6, and 8.
Jeez.
And we had our dog too. So he was literally stuffed in the middle of like the second row captain seats.
He's probably the worst. He has the worst out of everybody.
Oh, for sure. Usually he has his own seat, and then, you know, we had another kid, so he lost that. But they did surprisingly well.
On the floor.
Yes, he was. For the circumstances, they did pretty good. So what was nuts is on the way back. So we left at like 8 o'clock at night. We're like, hey, maybe if we drive through the night, they'll sleep, which they did for the most part pretty good. But I drove like the first 6 hours. So we were like 30 minutes outside of St. Louis. So we switched. Amy took over, filled up the car. And she got on the highway no more than like 2 minutes. And there was this huge accident, they had to life flight people out.
Oh,
so we were stuck on the highway at 2 a.m. for 3 hours.
Oh my God. I thought I saw a post Amy made about like the kids were
I saw it too. Like 5 a.m. she's posting something, and I was like, oh God.
So like at one point, one of the kids had to go to the bathroom. So literally it's just wall-to-wall traffic on the highway. Yeah. Like one car pulled off to the side of the road and then just stopped right next to us and didn't move for 3 hours because like the police are trying to go through that way.
Yeah.
And so Amy just took a blanket out. We had a like little portable potty. So we got a kid on the highway, just peeing.
Memories.
Yes. But yeah, so we went all the way up to Ohio, dropped the kids off, or stayed a couple of days and then dropped the kids off. And Amy had a teacher conference in Lake Tahoe. So her and I went out there, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we flew back, which was another adventure. We landed in Las Vegas. And I say landed loosely, like we landed, touched wheels, and then had to take off again because the winds were too high.
Oh my, how terrified. Oh.
And Amy and I weren't even sitting next to each other. And like, I don't do very well with landings. Like I've thrown up
Me
before
neither,
in the past.
dude. Yeah.
So like,
were you holding hands with a stranger?
I'm white knuckling it. And no joke, the guy next to me starts throwing up.
No.
Like, yes. So like we take off again, and like the guy sitting next to him, like I'm on the aisle, he's on the aisle. So the guy in the middle seat next to him was like, does anybody have a bag? Because he can't even talk. He's going to throw up. So someone hands him a bag. He throws up. Then I felt bad for the guy because he goes to throw up again and drops the bag. So and then so he got another bag and is throwing up in it again. And everyone was really good about it because obviously they understood it was a crazy situation. And then the guy that was helping him was like, yeah, this happens all the time. I fly into Vegas. Like this happened like 4 or 5 times to me. So it's nuts.
We kind of need your help.
You need to be a dad real quick?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. Dude, I'm gonna ask Adam because he did both of these things. But Ty, would you rather be stuck on a highway 5 a.m. with 4 kids, all under at the age of 8, or be next to 2 adult men trapped on an airplane when they're both throwing up?
I'm gonna go.
Dude, that's a hard one.
I don't know. That's really I just no. Like the vomit really bothers me, dude. No.
At least
I don't know if I could.
At least with the
Will do.
At least Adam, I asked Ty, and you did both these things, so I guess you could figure out what you want. Would you rather be stuck on the highway with 4 kids under the age of 8, or be stuck on an airplane with 2 grown men throwing up? Like, which one of those would you prefer?
I mean, both situations turned out okay. Like
Are you a sympathy puker?
I was worried that I was going to start throwing up. Like I looked over, I saw what was happening. He hadn't thrown up yet. So I just started staring straight ahead. Like I didn't have a bag to give him. I looked. Yeah. Usually I look like right when I get on, like if I have a bag just to make sure.
Yeah.
And then I looked to the guy next to me. I'm like, hey, do you have a bag? And he's like, I don't have one. I'm about to throw up. So I was like, oh my goodness. Dude, and then so the guy started throwing up, and I just like looked straight ahead. I can't help him. So
Ty, you good, man? You don't
dude, I don't feel good. No, just thinking about being somebody in close proximity like that, dude. No.
Dude, at least with the being stuck on the highway, you can get out and be mobile, like be
I think I would take the children, actually, the 4 kids under 8 in the minivan. Yeah. Like I don't know. The close proximity and somebody like the
good thing is we just circled around and landed. Like it was like 15-20 minutes, which it was a rough 15-20 minutes because you're going straight up circles straight back down. So we got off pretty quickly, but I don't know. Like the stewardess was saying that she's been on a flight where they landed and had to take off 5 separate times.
Oh my God!
Like it took them 5 times to land. I'm like, oh my goodness, we need to land right now. We got a puker.
Dude, I as much as I don't like, I want to know more details. Were these guys like was it loud too? Because that'd be like, if you're trying to it's one thing to be like just like staring forward and trying not to see it, but if you're just like,
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was, it's like a normal puker, so like at least half the plane knew what was going on, like the back half for sure. So and then he accidentally spilled it, so then You know how everybody stands straight up, you know, when the plane lands or you finally get to the gate. So everybody's like hovering kind of around it. And then the stewardess is trying to put stuff on it. And like everybody kind of just stopped when they were getting off. Like it was kind of someone's turn to go. And I just grabbed my bag and got out of there. I was like, I'm not waiting to stand next to this puke too much longer.
You're not being courteous here.
Like, and Amy's like 3 rows back, and I'm like, I'll meet her on the tarmac or whatever it is, the bridge.
You're good. Yeah. Amy, you're good. I'll see you. Be careful.
I'm sorry.
Row B, watch out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, what a whirlwind, man.
And then we had to fly to Reno. So they're like, yeah, you know, it's going to be high winds in Reno too. And that landing, we made it on one landing, but I'm pretty sure at one point when we were down, we only had one wheel down. And it was like the side one. And I'm like, oh, we're going down.
Would you rather be with 2 pukers or die? No, I'm just kidding.
Or die?
I'm just kidding.
2 pukers.
I was listening to 2 Bears 1K with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, and Tom Segura said his son told him, "Hey, Dad, would you rather every time you cleared your throat, you poop 40 boogers flew out your nose, or every time you coughed, poop came out your ears?" Like, Jesus, man.
I think I'm gonna go with the 40 boogers on that one.
And then he said, he kept talking to him at bedtime. He's like, and he had like 40 variations. He was like, oh, you cleared your throat and your hair just kept pooping. I'm like, oh, okay. I forgot you're 7. Got it. Oh man. Yeah. That's a whirlwind vacation, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I don't like flying, we have driven with the kids overnight when they were younger. We went to Myrtle Beach when they were 5 and 2, but it was through the nights, 12 hours. I drove. They slept the entire time for the most part. I tell you what, I've never had a better nap though. Got to Myrtle Beach. We ate breakfast. The kids were ready to go. So we did some stuff and did whatever, came back to the hotel about like 4 for their naps, just blacked out the entire room. We had like a suite. So the kids were in like a separate area, just blacked everything out. Dude, I had such a good nap. Like it was like 60 degrees. It felt like 60 degrees in the room. Just done. It was so
sounds
nice.
Wonderful.
It's amazing how traveling and you're basically just sitting the whole time, how exhausted you get.
Yeah.
Like whether you fly or drive,
you can't
like,
really,
it's exhausting.
Yeah. I mean, you're sitting, but you can't relax because obviously you're driving a freaking car. So yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, because you're right. You're like sitting there, but just the little tiny movements of you driving and being focused or whatever, just after a while, especially 19 hours, man, you're just like, I'm done. And even being a passenger, like if you're not sleeping, you're still like, if you're not a good passenger, it's probably tiring too. But like we drove from Canton this weekend for Lillian's Baton, and Andrea slept. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and she probably slept at least a good hour. But you know, that's when we got this app. So what I normally do is I find a rabbit, someone who's going a lot faster than me, and then speed up and just go right, like get right behind them. So if the cop radars, it's going to radar them, hopefully. So I get home and we have a Life 360 app that shows us like who goes where, their trips and all this stuff. And it always tells me our top speed. My top speed was 103.
Holy shit, dude.
I didn't even realize that at one point I hit that, dude. That's just how I was just going.
Damn. That's
so
impressive.
On the turnpike, just blowing by everybody.
Oh yeah. I was behind a Charger. I think it was
the Charger.
No, it wasn't a Charger. It was what's the other one? The other Dodge?
Challenger.
I was behind a Challenger, just booking it, man. Yeah, it was. That's how you make good time, though. And apparently, go 103 and not notice. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, I don't know.
I will say, if you're not doing, I think 80 on the turnpike nowadays, you're getting passed pretty quickly by everyone. Like,
it is, because it's 70
posted
now.
70, and I know they don't even look at you if you're doing 80, like the State Highway Patrol.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to your point, I do think you'd get pulled over going 103, but but to your point, also it would have been
33 over.
No, it would have been the Challenger.
Yeah,
that got pulled over.
I would hope. I remember
but they might have racial profiled you too and pulled you over if it was a white guy. Just saying.
I remember when
details are coming in.
Yes. When I was a teenager, I was driving to Columbus with my dad's friend. He had a Camaro, and then my dad was in front of him. And we were going to a wedding, and I wanted to go in that car because it was cool, and I was a teenager, and I liked the way the speaker sounded and everything. So we're going. Apparently, we were late because they were speeding, and my dad gets pulled over, and my dad's friend, they both get pulled over by the same police officer. So he pulled my dad over, and then he also pulled the car that I was in over. I'm like, oh shit.
That's impressive.
I don't know how that happened, but got them both. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe he pulled my dad over. It's like, oh, there's a brown guy. I better pull the white guy over too. Got it. No, this is back like 25 years ago. They didn't care about that kind of stuff.
They didn't care about stats. That's right.
What else? Oh yeah. So how much time, Adam, did you actually get to be in Perrysburg? Because you also went to visit our friend Kurt. But I feel like
so we did that.
Would have been here.
We did that for the day. So that was a good, 3.5 hours there, 3.5 hours back, something like that. So, but we were here before we left. We were there for a few days, but we did like all the stuff that you normally would do in your trip. So we did Cedar Point one day. It was the two older kids were finally big enough to go on most of the rides. So we did like their first real roller coaster. So that was cool for them. And then
who goes with them? You or Amy?
We both went, but like I have to do Dramamine. I'm old.
Oh, dude, for sure. Me too. I feel like garbage when I come off of them.
I was telling Amy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, like, you guys are old.
I remember we went to Cedar Point High School. I think it was Lorenzo, you and I, probably Kurt and Erwin, I think. Yeah. And like perfectly fine, no big deal. And then I didn't go in college. So Amy and I went like last year of college. We bought a pass. I'm like, love roller coasters, whatever. Yeah. We'll go a couple times. Second ride, threw up on like the air max. Like I didn't throw up on the ride, thank goodness. We did the Wicked Twister, so spin.
Yeah.
And then we did right to the air max. And I'm like, never doing that again. Threw up, went out in the parking lot, like give me like an hour or so, fell asleep, and then woke up. I'm like, I can't do it.
No shit.
Didn't even go the rest of the year. So now I have to like plan it out now, like a couple rides, especially like the older ones are rough.
Yeah, dude.
What did you ride? That's what I was going to ask. What did you ride
this time?
Yeah.
So we did the Iron Dragon for the little ones for the first one. And then we did the Gemini. Yeah. And like, after I got off of that one, I'm like, I need a break. And Amy and McLean went on it again. And I did one of those little rides we went with Amy's cousin and her daughters. Okay. So like the little one can only do like the little kids ride. So I did one that spun because Amy's cousin didn't want to do it. And I'm like, I need like a half-hour break. That one was brutal.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Amy and I did the Millennium Force. So we got at least like one big one in.
Nice.
McLean wanted no part of it.
No, we had to trick Lillian to go on the Iron Dragon. So we told her it was something else, and we went on it. And then afterward, you're like, you just went on the Iron Dragon. She's like, yay. And then I don't think we went on anything else.
Olivia wants to do the mine ride over and over and over. And I was like, can we please try something else? Please. And it's like, it's pulling teeth. She's only 9.
Yeah.
But Heather and I, the reason I was asking is Heather and I just went, I think like a week. Last Monday on 3rd of July. And the crowds were super light and rode. You appreciate all the new ones when you go on. So we rode Steel Vengeance, Millennium Force, but like one of our last rides out of the park was like Magnum XL 2000. Dude, that thing beat the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's old. Yeah.
Like, my whole body just hurt afterwards. Didn't need Dramamine, but I definitely needed some like Advil after that one and Tylenol. So yeah.
You don't feel any dizziness or anything when you get off of them?
No. Not really. God, no.
Dude, that's how I feel. Like
I guess it's, but I also don't really like Max Air. That's it's a big freaking wheel that just
I don't do that one.
Back and forth, but it spins as it's. I'm like, no, I'm not really.
Never again.
Yeah, that's not fun for me. Like I would just get on any roller coaster, but not that thing. So
I do like. I don't know what it's called, but it's right when you walk in. It's like a ship, and it just goes back and forth like really high. I forget what it's called. But I don't mind that one because I like the feeling of the drop. Like that's fun. When you feel like you're gonna die, like that's cool. But like I don't like this like going up like that Max Air thing. I'm cool on spinning. Even when we were in Disney World last time, we went on the teacups and me and Andrea went together because we weren't gonna spin. So we just went around. But Mateo and Lillian are just blitzing in a circle and it was like I'm getting sick just watching them, you know, but no, I don't do the spin ones, man.
Nope.
I don't mind the spin ones if I can control the spin, like the teacups. Some of those rides, you're the one who has to spin them. So, but yeah, I feel like shit when after I get off some of those.
Yeah. No, thank you for Max Air. No.
Yeah. We are getting old, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what's going to happen to us.
Probably going to die.
Brutal. At some point, yes.
I mean, yeah, spot the lie. It's a fact. Like I think we'll all die. So eventually.
Yeah. Adam, are you coming to our reunion?
I probably won't be able to. I wasn't planning on it. Just
it's during football
season
too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
We have a bye week, but it's like I think the end of October.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like the third week of October, something like that. So it would be like if I even
third week
attempted to do it, it would be like flying in Saturday morning just to fly out Sunday. So
yeah, it's not worth it as much as you love people. It's not worth it. So, you love people you haven't seen in 20 years, then yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like $100 a word that I'd speak for the trip to get up there and back.
Holy shit, it's Adam Guff. How you doing? Good.
Good to see you.
You know what? Can we, what we should do? I think it'd be cool at some point. Can we make a list of questions? Just, a couple things. So the first thing I was going to say is we should make a list of questions like, hey, let's ask these questions because these are questions that like people don't always get at. Like, just don't ask the same questions. Also, make a bingo board of all the questions you're going to get asked and see who wins.
That would be like actually we should do that. Like just
like
laminate a little bingo card. That would actually be a great idea.
Yeah.
And then just scream from across the room, bingo.
Like
only you and I will know what's going on.
How you been? What are you up to? How are your kids?
You married? Any wife, kids, significant other?
Any wife. But like
second, third?
The other thing too is like, I mean, most people I feel like are connected on Facebook or something, social media. So you would avoid some of that. Obviously the people that you don't really chit chat with, you're still going to get some of that, but I'm sure the bingo card will be filled up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I was going to say, what's interesting is the people that aren't on social media, because you're going to have a lot of questions for those people. Maybe. No.
Have you seen so-and-so, that kind of stuff? Are you still friends with this person? Yeah.
Never friends with that person.
I kind of want to do that now. That's interesting to me.
So-and-so, is that you? Oh my God. They got fat. No.
I don't think they would ever.
Oh my God. What happened to your face?
I knew it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. Trey said he's going to come out, so
nice.
Yeah.
I think I still have to pick up Trey from the airport. Shout out Trey.
I think I tried to get him. In all fairness, I felt like Adam was gonna. I felt like you were gonna say yes, but I was like, well, he has 1,000 kids. I don't know what he's got going on. So I asked Adam. I asked like 6 people to come on this podcast tonight.
And I'm like, seventh choice showing up.
I even asked a mom to come on here on the dad podcast.
Whoa.
We've had one. I know you don't listen, but we've had one. Yes.
Wow.
It was a pretty groundbreaking episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about also asking. This is in future episode. It's out there now, so I'm not like saying anything out of pocket. But one of Coach Kriegel's daughters is pregnant, so he's gonna be a grandpa. So I was thinking about having our first grandpa on at some point, but he has to officially be a grandpa before he can come on. Before that's gonna happen. So
3 dads and a grandpa.
I think he'll come on. I think he'll come on, talk to us.
He will.
Yeah. So sorry, Adam, but I appreciate you coming on here. It's been great so far. You've been wonderful. Yeah. I'm glad. I should have asked you first.
Wonder why I didn't call you when I went home.
Touche.
Right.
Touche.
I don't think he's gonna call you next time either.
Or karma the other way. I guess I deserve that. All right.
You know, your brother was cool. It was cool to see your brother too, and his wife, and his daughter.
Yeah.
And I did have a lovely conversation with your mother too, so that was nice.
Yeah, I talked to her afterwards, and she's like, again, she told me the whole story. Like, she didn't call me, right after you called me.
Yeah.
So, we were visiting again before we were going home, and you will never guess who I saw. I was like, Lorenzo. How do you know? Oh, you called me about it already. So I'm like, you couldn't recognize Lorenzo of all people? No. She's like,
I'm bald now.
She's like, yeah, I haven't seen him. So she kept talking about like she saw you at some farmer's market when Amy and I were in town. It would have been like,
remember. That was forever ago, probably.
Lillian and McLean were like 2 or something. I was like, I don't remember ever going to a farmer's market, so I can't help you out there.
Do you guys do that do you have that kind of stuff in Texas that you guys go to?
I think there are some, but it's not, we haven't been to one, I don't think.
Yeah. Ty, do you do that kind of stuff?
Currently, no. But there's really none. There's like a random, but it's over across the street from the Costco on Central and Secor area. Mm-hmm. It's like Westgate Wednesdays, I think they call it, but it's really dumb. It's just an empty parking lot, and some people bring your flowers, your vegetables, but it's not like anything like Perrysburg does have a good one. I will say that. So they have a legit farmer's market, but yeah.
All right. Fine. Good.
Do you want an exciting life event from me?
Absolutely.
I bought a house.
Oh, nice. Where at?
Thank you. Perrysburg.
Moving on back. Home. They always come back. Nice, man. That's awesome.
Thanks. What part are you in?
It's on Nora Drive, so it's across the street from like the YMCA.
From the Y, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like back here, there's some newer houses and stuff. So
congratulations.
I'm excited. It was crazy. I had no idea what to anticipate with the market. We were talking to our realtor, and I think it was Saturday, he was just kind of like walking through my condo, and he was giving me some ins and outs about putting on the market, blah, blah, blah. And then for some reason, though, like that night, Heather and I were looking at properties online, and we're like, oh, there's an open house tomorrow at this random one. You want to go see it? And it was the one on Nora. And so we liked it. We, walked through it twice in 2 hours, I think. But yeah, we ended up putting an offer in, and our realtor's like, I won't lie to you. He's like, I had a client last year that wrote 30 offers and
oh my God,
and didn't get any house. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So like I all Monday, I was just like, sitting on pins and needles, like just waiting. And, they told us like we were one of 3 or 4 offers, I think. Mm-hmm. But we ended up getting it. So,
nice.
And fast forward to, that was yesterday. We found out we got it. And then today he's like, so we ready to list your condo? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, let's just, start moving that on that process, blah, blah, blah. There was somebody that wanted to come see it tonight at 7:55 at night.
Oh my God.
It went on the market officially, like MLS listing at like 5:30 by the time I, sign all the paperwork online and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, you think you can have it ready by 7:55 today? I'm like, no. I was like, I got all the paperwork done. That's kind of mentally all I was ready to do today.
Yeah.
I was like, tell him tomorrow. So like after this podcast, I'm going to start cleaning away and hiding everything. Yeah, dude, it's nuts how fast everything's happening. So yeah, but I'm excited. So
when do you close? And
roughly 30 days from to yesterday. So August 10th, but I do know that the people we're buying the house from, they've requested like an additional 30 days like after close so they can move, obviously, because I think they have another property lined up themselves. But it was just funny because again, late yesterday I was just like, so I was like, how fast do I need to sell my condo, blah blah blah, and he's just like, well, he's like, I'm not gonna lie, and he pulled comps last Saturday, and every comp that he showed me in the area for like the last 3 months, everything sold in like less than 15-20 days, and I think he showed me 6 comps. So I was like, okay, we'll be fine. So yeah, it's crazy market though.
Yeah, man. We've been on our house 9 years now, and the same thing with someone wanted to come look at your place. It was on the market for 4 hours, and we went to go see it, and we put offer in immediately. But yeah, for you guys, that was 9 years ago, and that's I mean, when we walked through that house on Sunday, we're like, do you think can we like think about it for a little time? And he's like, I will tell you right now, he's like, if you're interested at all, you need to write an offer today because you won't get it tomorrow. Like it'll already be too late. And I was like, oh God, kind of forgot. Because, last time I bought like a house, like crazy and it was so different, like even 2019, it was different then. And then the one prior was 2011. 2011, it was just like, we could lowball. We could like, hey, pay the closing costs for the buyer. Yeah.
And I was asking him, when he came over on last Saturday, and I was just like, how does all this like work? Like, can you write even like concessions in your offer? He goes, no, absolutely not. He's like, no one will take it. And I was like, great.
Damn.
So anyway, but that's exciting. So,
I didn't know you were looking for a house, man. There was 3 houses for sale on my street.
So we've only really been looking online, and it was just like we were looking, predominantly online, and just again, everything kind of came into perfect alignment, I guess, the last couple of days. But yeah, it was very fast. But again, I was glad that we got one because I don't think I could write 30 different offers. And
yeah, that's cool, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited. So
Adam Smith moved down the street from me. He bought one of those houses.
I saw that. Yeah. Cause I randomly I'm in Perrysburg, as quite often with Olivia still living, at the old house. And so I'm constantly there dropping her off, picking her up, stuff like that. And I remember driving by Adam's old place. I was just like, oh geez, his place will sell in an instant. Cause like it's a great, like old school starter home for Perrysburg.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where he was going specifically until like, of course, Adam mentioned Facebook. Everybody's Facebook friend. So I just stalked him on Facebook and figured it out real quick where he's at. So
yeah. I haven't seen him yet, but he has all this shit outside and making the neighborhood look like garbage.
Yeah, tell him to pick that shit up.
No, it's not. Just messing
wow.
Just moving in.
Wow.
Well, I mean, we still got plenty of time, but I had an idea for a new podcast, which I would do on my own with other random people, but you guys can be the first guest on this new podcast. And really you're just the audience, because I kind of hinted at the premise, like that was do a new podcast when I put the Nerdball podcast out on Monday. I did a recap of our weekend and at Lillian's baton competition, which is, she did really well, and I'm glad we went, and she was happy. But man, 12-hour day Friday and a 14-hour day Saturday, just yeah, it was long days. But but in all that time and driving, I came up with an idea for a podcast. The original idea was I was just going to call it My Dead Brother, and then tell stories of my brother, and then invite people to come on and tell stories of their loved ones that pass away, funny, sad, whatever, even if you just want to talk about the person. But then to make it even, to open it up even more, I decided just to call it My Dead. And then anybody can come on and they can talk about anything, their brother, their dog, their grandma, a tree they bought that died, their car when that died, like anything, it's kind of open up to anything. So it'll just be called My Dead. And then whatever someone wants to come on and talk about, they can talk about. Again, kind of leave it open. If people want to be sad, they can talk about their loved one. And if it's sad, whatever, funny, a car can be funny or sad or, anything. So, I'm going to use the end of this podcast to kind of use you guys as the guinea pigs for this podcast. So I think what I want out of it is just to tell a story. And that's what I'm going to tell people. Like if they want to come on, be like, all right, you want to talk about your grandma? Let's find a good story that just like really encapsulates what your grandma's about or what you think she's about or whatever. So the story I have about my brother, both of you knew my brother. But when we were younger, it was, I don't know, I was probably 7 and he was probably about 10. And then my younger, Misty was 6 and Martina wasn't there yet because she wasn't born because my mom decided to have Martina on her own. I mean, I know it takes 2 to tango, but she kind of stopped taking birth control and had this. She felt lonely, so she wanted to have another baby, and that's why my sister was born. And I don't know if it was the ultimate backfire or the best thing ever because she's 30 and still lives at home. So I don't know. I don't know how that worked. But anyway, she wasn't there. It was just us 3. My older brother was a bully. He was bullied to me and mostly me, but not my other sister. So we're in my grandparents' car. My grandpa was kind of mean. Like he'd get mad if you'd go back and forth in front of the TV too many times. So we would like army crawl in front of the TV so we didn't have to like be yelled at by him. But my grandparents were driving us to the mall, and we're in this 1985 Monte Carlo. So 2-door coupe. We're smash in the back seat. And my brother keeps farting, and my brother's a little jerk. And I don't know if you ever were forced. I don't know if you were ever made to smell a fart. Like people will smell a fart that you don't know, but I don't know if anybody's ever told you to smell a fart. But my grandpa got mad because my brother kept farting, and my grandpa yelled and said, "If you fart one more time, I'm going to pull the car over and you're going to get out." So. You guys know my brother. He's not one to back down from a challenge. So he farted a quiet one and leaned over to my sister and I and said, "Hey guys, you gotta help me sniff it up so Grandpa doesn't smell it." Dude. So we're in the back just huffing farts, dude. Just going to town because he's our older brother. He's gonna kick our ass, right? So we're just, and I don't know if it was like a little kid thing, but I guess I mean that's not gonna work, obviously. But as a child, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna sniff it up. But wouldn't it have worked better if you like inhaled with your mouth and not your nose? I feel like you get a lot more in that way. I don't know. Because so basically we were bullied into sniffing this fart up, but not only by trying to suck it up, but we also smelled it for no reason. Because my grandpa smelled it for sure. Pulled the car over on a 2-lane highway, pulled the car over and opened the door and pulled his seat up and told my brother to get out. He's like, "Get out of the car. I told you, get out of the car." And everyone's just crying. We smell like farts. We're just crying, farty children. And my grandma's crying, like, "No, don't let him out." So he just shuts the door and we go on our way to wherever the hell we were going. I don't know. But I was terrified. God. I was terrified so many times on that trip. Like first of all, my grandpa just saying, "Hey, if you fart one more time, we're going to open this door." I'm like, "Great." Cause I know that's going to fucking happen. And then I was terrified of my brother because he was like, "Hey, you gotta sniff this fart up or I'm going to beat your ass." And then I was terrified when my grandpa opened the goddamn car door. Like, what the hell's going to happen here? That's I think that's like a perfect example of my brother, like just doesn't give a shit about anybody or anything and just did his own thing and almost forced him. He almost had his grandpa force him out of the car at 10 years old because he kept farting. That's always my go-to story when I talk about my brother, because again, it's like a perfect thing for him. Like, just whatever, man. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
So I know you've told me that story before, but it's still freaking hilarious, like to this day. So
yeah,
I loved it.
Well, thank you. So first of all, I'm also gonna put that ending of this podcast out on Nerdball, kind of give a idea of what this new podcast is gonna be. But I'm also thinking about telling that story on stage at the comedy night at the one that I don't know if you saw it, Tyler. I just posted about it on Facebook that there's a comedy night at Levi and Lilac Kamami. So that was also a reason I wanted to tell the story too. The July 25th. It's a Tuesday, I believe.
All right.
I don't think tickets are on sale yet, though. Yeah, 2 weeks from today, right? Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I think the podcast is going to be. So if you guys ever want to come on and talk about something dead, I don't know. It can be anything, I guess. Hey, my computer died and I lost everything. But I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I talked to George about it yesterday too, friend of the show, and he thought it'd be like a good healing thing too for people, because everyone likes, everyone wants to talk and talk about it and everything. Actually, I called my sister Misty today and talked about it. She's like, yeah. She goes, I think it's a good idea. And we were talking about my brother's funeral, and she goes, actually, my dad. She's like, our dad wanted you to like keep talking when you were talking at the funeral. And I was like, yeah, everyone likes to hear about their loved one. That I think that's just something what dead or alive, they don't want to hear that people are doing well. So.
I agree. I think it will be a good show for healing for sure. Mm-hmm. And then I think you could also get some jackasses on there that, like you said, talk about a dead car plant. I mean, maybe somebody could be super upset about a plant, or maybe they had a neighbor kill a plant that they cared for dearly. And
yeah.
I think there's all kinds of stuff. It could go a lot of different ways.
I hit a bird this morning and I fucking lost it, man. Like, I didn't cry, but I was just driving and I thought, like, I saw it flying and I'm like, oh, it's going to get out of the way. And it did not. Hit my truck, hit my windshield. And I'm just like, ah! And I look in the mirror, it's just like flapping around. I'm like, God dang it, man. I don't want to start my day by hitting a bird.
Maybe the bird was trying to take its own life. That happened to Kurt and I. I picked him up. I think we're probably going to a baseball game or something, and we're on 6th Street, like just pulled out. And same thing, you could see the bird coming on in. I'm like, it's gonna move, right? Like, they always fly out of the way. Yeah. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, didn't clip it. Like, just straight into the windshield. Like, it had to know what was going on. Like, it's not flying through the car.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
Do you guys go get your car cleaned after killing something?
Didn't even leave a mark.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. Like, you would think like maybe a crack or, some remains of some kind.
Yeah, an eyeball, something.
Nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, like if I hit a squirrel, if I hit a squirrel or something, I'm always like, kind of like, maybe there's some blood on the tires. Better get that blood off the tires. And so
you're gonna trace it back to you. The bird, the squirrel FBI is just gonna come fucking get you.
Not so much that. I just don't want blood on my car. I guess I want to clean my conscience and clean it off in the car shop, I guess. So
when I worked at Ed Schmidt, part of my job, because I worked for the body shop, so part of my job was to, if the car hit a deer, I had to clean everything off so they could see it. Mm-hmm. I remember one car hit a deer and then ran over it, and we had to put it on a lift and spray all the guts from underneath it out of there so they could see what was wrong. Just have like a rain poncho on, because that stuff's just coming down on you. It's just pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
This is like the gore. This is the gore episode. Like, just solid 15-20 minutes of vomit talk, and now we're talking about deer parts just flying off of the cars,
smelling farts. just
smelling
everything.
farts.
It is a gross episode. Yeah. Title the episode.
Title it gross.
Vomit. No, vomit. Farts.
And Tyler buys a house.
And Tyler buys a house. Oh man. All right, guys. Well, I won't keep you. I know Tyler has to. There's Amy. Hi, Amy.
I'm just eating ice cream.
Eat it. What kind of ice cream is it?
What kind of ice cream?
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, of course I can. Oh yeah.
What if I farted or something?
Well,
they can hear what I want.
It'd be appropriate for the show. They've already been talking about farts.
Oh,
and puke.
How? Where's the microphone? In your
the computer?
Oh, I thought it was only
it's in my mouth. It's in my hands.
Is she new to computers?
Oh, it was vanilla chocolate. What if I said something dirty? I had vanilla ice cream with some chocolate, but it was just frozen. It was freezer burnt. Like the stuff that's just left over at the very end that you don't need a bowl. You just leave it in the actual carton.
If that is an apparent
move. Chocolate in the carton with it.
Yes.
No?
Yeah, dude, you don't even need a bowl.
You just stir it up a little bit to get the freezer burnt stuff off, and then it gets soft again, and then you just eat it. Am I not the only one who does that?
No, scrape off the freezer burnt.
Oh, they do?
And then, just eat the
what's
rest.
Yeah. Wait, I can't hear you.
Can you hear us?
I still can't hear anything.
Can you hear us?
Now you broke the computer.
No, he's.
Oh wait, I can hear now.
All right, so Amy, that is such a parent thing, just to eat the leftovers of whatever because the kids aren't gonna do it. I remember growing up, my dad would always eat the the crumbs of potato chips because we wouldn't finish the bag.
I ate Jaden's dinner tonight. He refused. We had manicotti, which was delicious.
Sounds good.
He refused to eat it, and all he wanted was raisins and a banana. And I said, I said, you can have raisins and a banana if you finish your manicotti. Yeah. And he was like, not worth it. And he just shoved it at me, and I was like, I have no shame. So then I just ate the rest of his food and called it a night.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and eating it out of the carton. Eating it out of the carton, you don't dirty a bowl and have to do dishes. So
exactly.
Yeah. Awesome.
Because I'm a woman, I usually do all the dishes. And I change all the diapers and I just do all the womanly things because I'm like that.
Well, Adam is a man's man and he just runs that house, I know. So
there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
Adam is terrified of you, Amy.
I can't open this jar. And he's like, move aside, woman. And he just opens it for me.
Oh, well, wonderful.
So inferior.
Women are so inferior.
Speaking of adult things, look what I picked up the other day. Check this out. An entire list, 3 pages long, of where kids eat free every day of the week.
We need to post that. Yeah.
That's real.
Like, who even am I? Yeah, that's real. Get on in there. Some good stuff.
Get on in there. You know, we have officially, Mateo has grown out of kids' meals. So now we have to pay for a whole adult meal.
Mateo grew out of kids' meals when he was 4 because he looks 16. So you could be like, my child's 4, and they'd be like, sir, we know he's 16. So he didn't grow out.
There's no way your son's 4.
Yeah, he would eat them. But now he does not, and it costs us a lot of money.
4-year-old drove you here, sir.
He's smoking a cigarette in the back.
He is a big boy. Although he did say the other day, Andrea said that he called himself giant. He said, I'm a giant kid. And she felt bad about it because the way he said it was it's not a good thing. So I got to investigate that a little bit. Tell him hey, you're a big kid, but that's all right. That's just how you are, man. Like
it's just Adam could come on from an opposite angle. I've been little my whole life and I had a booster seat when I learned to drive and everything's okay.
Adam.
Wow.
Sick burn, Amy.
Crucified. Sick burn.
Mature adults.
Oh.
Do you know them?
I do know these people.
Do you know these two?
Hey, McLean, how you doing?
You've met both of them.
Yeah.
Not remember. What would you think if like there was a kid in your class and you call him big? Like, oh, you're such a big kid. Is that nice? Or,
I don't think that would.
It's not nice. Do people ever call you little?
Nah.
No. What do they say about you?
Just wait.
I don't know.
Like you're so cool.
No.
Can I tell them something personal, just real quick? About the wolf pack?
Oh no, you can't. It's gonna go out to literally tens of people.
Tens of people.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Amy. Bye.
I'm definitely gonna tell them, but go to sleep and you won't hear it happen.
No.
Man, Amy's been itching to be on a podcast, apparently.
I guess. I'll see you guys later. There'll be a parent.
Well, I don't get to actually see me. I just got done working out.
No, I mean we've been seeing you. Sorry, you're on video.
I
Sorry.
try to stay really far behind.
Oh.
So McLean's part of what he calls a wolf pack, and I don't exactly like know what it is. It's him and like 3 or 4 other girls.
Oh.
And they're all older than him.
Okay.
And they're all like wolves, but he's like the head of the wolf pack. And at one point he told me it involved like massages that they would pay for.
Whoa.
So then I was like, let's talk about like these massages. Like where do we touch?
Yeah.
And then he just thought I was a weirdo. He's like, you touch their shoulders. And I was like, I'm just making sure. Like the teachers do it too. And I was like, what?
Oh my God.
I was so nervous.
What are they teaching?
I had to like talk to other parents about this Wolfpack massage parlor that was happening on the playground. And apparently it was all PG, but like he said the Wolfpack broke up, but he's in love with like 2 or 3 of them. And so they're part of this love Wolfpack. It's so strange.
Sounds like he needs to move to Utah. That's what it sounds like.
Something.
Father of the year over here.
I mean, he identifies as a wolf, and we accept them for who they are.
All right. You might have to talk to him about polygamy too at some point.
I mean, that's fine. I'm good with that. He asked us when we were getting divorced before. So,
all right.
And I said, do you know anyone divorced? And he was like, not yet. And I was like, okay.
Not yet. He goes, you too?
Not yet. But statistically, mom and dad, the odds are pretty high.
If he asks you to join his wolf pack, don't do it.
We started talking wolf pack and my mind immediately goes to The Hangover.
Yeah.
That's immediate.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys go. We've been here an hour. Adam, thanks for coming on the podcast. Amy, thanks for hopping on here at the end.
Thanks, Amy.
You look as beautiful as ever, Amy.
A little bit to the left, up,
and
down.
Did you have that pearl necklace when we started?
Oh my.
Hey, that's from a movie. I didn't know that.
That is from a movie.
Does she drink? Does she drink when she works out? Or
That's me normal. This is no caffeine.
This is it.
All right. Wonderful. Well,
and I apologize.
No, it was good. Adam, thanks again. This was great. Check out the Nerdball podcast. I didn't have any new episodes. It's just me talking about our wonderful vacation in Canton, Ohio. That's out now. Check out hopefully Jimmy's back. We have a merch idea that we're working with. Me and Jimmy and Tyler have kind of been talking about it. So hopefully that's going to be coming out, merch for 3 different dads. And if you'd like to be on the new podcast, My Dad something, email me or text me or something, and you can come on and do that. So as always, thanks, George. This has been 3 different dads.
If there's nothing